Hi, welcome to National Training Providers. We often get asked by students for advice on how to manage their study time. The volume of the information can appear quite daunting. There's a lot to remember. You may not realise that you're studying the equivalent of an A-level course. That's an advanced level exam that students go to college to study after they've left mainstream education. These A-level courses usually take 2 years to study. That's full time. Your aim is to complete the equivalent in less than a year, so time management is crucial. So how are you going to schedule your time? Well, it obviously depends on your individual circumstances, the time you can put aside, and also where your priorities lie. Now, I'm not going to say that studying the course should be your top priority. However, having paid for the course, it should be pretty high up there. Dedication to learn, dedication to complete, and dedication to pass should mean, for a short time, that studying the course and getting an exam ready should be high on that list. Learn, pass, then relax. So let's have a look at a few examples. The guided learning hours for the Transport Manager course varies between sort of 100 and 140 hours, but let's err on the side of caution and we'll set the total learning hours at 140. So we'll use that in our examples. Remember, you may be considerably quicker, you may need a little longer. You'll need to decide which exam you feel you'd like to aim for. You can find the exam dates in the course. Look at the amount of time that you think you can comfortably spare on a regular basis. Then you can settle on a level of commitment that suits your individual needs. Now you've got 12 months access to the course, so let's assume that you want to get your exam taken before the expiry of the course and that you won't necessarily be studying every week, perhaps not whilst you're on holiday. So let's take off a few weeks and base the maximum time available to, well, say 46 weeks. Just a figure plucked out the air, not set in stone. Don't forget, you've got access to the course for the full 52 weeks. Now, taking our 140 total learning hours and dividing it by the 46 weeks that we've just settled on equates to 3 hours a week. That's all, 3 hours a week. Now, that could be 30 minutes each day for 6 days, it could be 1 hour a day for 3 days, or even 3 hours on 1 day. All of a sudden, over the 10.5-month period that we've set as being available, it's not a massive drain on your free time. And don't forget, you don't even have to be sat in front of the computer for all of those hours. Some could be utilising the audio version whilst you're carrying out other tasks. Now, what about if you want to complete it more quickly? Well, historically, the only option was to attend a classroom course, which was normally a 10-day intensive course. Now, to the maths, 140 hours divided by 10 days, that's 14 hours a day. Now that's intensive, difficult and for most totally unreasonable. So let's look at some more realistic targets. What about 6 months? Perfectly reasonable to assume that you wish to study and be exam ready in 6 months. 140 hours divided by 26 weeks, just under 5.5 hours a week, or an hour-ish a day. What about 4 months? 140 hours divided by 16 weeks, just under 9 hours a week. A couple of hours a day or an hour a day in 3 or 4 hours over the weekend. And what about even quicker? 3 months. Maybe you can put some serious time aside. 140 hours divided by 12 weeks is almost 12 hours per week, which is still easily manageable for a lot of people. It really doesn't matter how you arrive at the time, as long as you dedicate what is needed to achieve your target. Now, what about pitfalls? And there's always some, but being aware of them will probably help you to avoid them. Now, as you'll learn in the KPI section of the course, set yourself realistic targets. Trying to reach a target that is too challenging will have a negative effect on your ability to study. Also, be careful of the "I'll leave it until tomorrow" mindset, as tomorrow never comes and then you'll fall behind and become demoralised. Set yourself a realistic schedule to follow and stick to it. Don't forget though to have some built-in flexibility with your hours, as sometimes you may feel that taking a break, walking away and looking again with a fresh mind will help. Finally, although you've got 12 months and shouldn't be setting unrealistic targets, don't underestimate the advantage of keeping a steady, consistent pace, as there's always the danger of not remembering the information that you covered at the start of the course if you spread the learning too thin. Now, the last thing that I want to mention, the course has exam criteria to be met before being able to book your exams. once you've booked, this is not the end of the story. You've approximately 3 weeks before the exam, and this needs to be used wisely. The knowledge retention tests and the multi-format preparation tests have helped to give an idea on how well you're retaining the information, but concentrating on these alone will not get you a pass. These questions only offer a snapshot of the course content, and they're not indicative of what you're going to find in your exam. There's a considerable amount of detail that has not appeared in the questions, but it's vital that your level of retention on these areas is excellent too. So, concentrate on going through the course, refreshing information that has not been tested on. It's unlikely that you'll pass based on reaching the required criteria on the question sets alone, as these have invariably been reached by some type of repetition. Please always remember the phrase, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Thanks for watching this advice on time management. Don't forget, click like and subscribe so we can let you know when new videos are uploaded, and check out our other free training videos, our toolbox talks, and our other interesting, informative and useful content. Thanks a lot, see you soon.